Comcast has been making waves in the theme park space with their Universal Studios theme parks, as they plant seeds all across the world to grow into massive theme parks which one day might be profitable, as well as NBCUniversal doing a much better job in the theatrical space. NBCUniversal is even a hair's breadth away from beating Disney at the box office this year, and spending a lot less money to do it. That being said, an anonymous executive theorized that Comcast could be readying NBCUniversal for a sale in 2024. Let's talk about that on That Park Place. I'm Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, where we talk about streaming, theme parks, entertainment, and video games. Today, we're talking about the annual executive predictions article from CNBC's Alex Sherman, in which a dozen or so executives anonymously tell Sherman their predictions for the next year. Many of them are right on the money, and some of them are definitely not. This year, someone predicted that ISP and cable giant Comcast will sell off NBCUniversal to Warner Brothers Discovery. Since WBD CEO David Zaslav seems to be the center of all kinds of rumors about mergers, spin-offs, and acquisitions, this was an amazing topic for our panel to discuss. Let's get into it. I just wanted to say that a lot of these things have turned out to be true over the last year, or pretty good educated guesses. So this time, he's up the ante with 13 former and current media, sports, and entertainment executives at major companies, each anonymously giving one significant prediction for 2024. And here we go. Executive 1 says Comcast will spin off NBCUniversal and merge it with Warner Brothers Discovery. Whew. Who's been following the coverage of this specifically that wants to chime in?
Well, I gotta tell you from a parks perspective how amazing that would that would sound right there. But I mean, that's quite the claim for sure. I haven't been keeping super up to date with it, but there is a lot of talk about Warner Brothers Discovery getting with Paramount on a permanent basis, and maybe being bought by Comcast and totality.
Wait a minute. Vash, we were told by the mainstream media just a month ago that they're trying to memory hole this rapidly, but we were told Warner Brothers was going bankrupt. What are you talking about, that it's going to merge and be something greater than ever before?
Well,
that can't be. The drive-bys told me.
That's true. Oh no! What? My whole worldview is changing and shifting. Oh God. Yeah. This is a tough thing right here. But actually, Comcast spinning it off. That's very interesting. Culture. Go ahead.
No, I to add to what you're saying, I mean, even this morning, another article dropped about the Warner Brothers Discovery deal, and some analysts poo-pooing that idea. Saying that won't happen. It's too many moving pieces, too much regulatory pressure, yada yada. And I'm going,
listen, culture. Yeah. When they hear Zaslav and bankruptcy, the drive-by start salivating such they need a bib. They need a moist towelette to get them through that kind of a story. They love the idea of Zaslav going down. They hate the man.
Right. Yeah. Just to be clear, this is the Hollywood Reporter, and the Hollywood Reporter has an axe to grind against David Zaslav because he, first of all, top story right here. They don't like him very much, although usually making good decisions in order to right your company is not the best decisions that a company can make are not always the popular decisions, which I think shows a good contrast between him and Bob Iger.
Yeah, and this is done because of a vendetta on the inside. It's a whole other conversation to be had. But regardless, this is the article that we need to focus on, guys. This is the article we need to focus on, because the idea of NBCUniversal spinning out what they control that's folly. That's ridiculous. They absolutely need to keep all of this together for all their other moving parts to work. If they want to be as vertically integrated as Disney is, they have to keep what they have together. So they're not spinning anything off. But what is most likely to happen is a Warner Brothers Discovery and I'm
going to go out on a limb here. Michelle, I want to throw this question to you. What was your favorite film of 2023?
Good gosh. You'd think I was prepared for that. I really don't.
I know what it is. I know what your favorite movie is.
What do you think it is?
Oh, I think it's one that you couldn't possibly skipper.
No, well, actually, if I were to guess, the one that I heard Michelle rave about, I was actually going to say, and then what was your second? But I remember you raving about Taylor Swift and the Eras tour. First of all,
That's true. That's true. It's still like I don't really consider that like a movie. But that
Please
was
Don't tell the
the
movie
most,
theaters.
that's true. That was the most fun experience that I had. Yeah. So I'll go with that. My favorite actual movie, I would say this year is probably Jesus Revolution, honestly.
Oh, wow.
That's
I have
not a
not
bad
seen that
choice.
one yet, but always love Kelsey Grammer, and that's the actor who plays Jesus in The Chosen. I know he's in that as well. Another Angel
Michelle, did you
Studios
see
movie.
Godzilla -1?
I have not
Oh, Michelle, you've got 3 days left.
because I am one of those that gets really stressed out if I have to read the entire time.
Okay, wait a minute. What if I pay for someone to sit beside you and read
Speaks fluent Japanese.
the subtitles for you? I'll even hire. I'll read one of those local storytellers who used to go to the little schools and read to kindergartners, and they'll do the voices and everything. Story time with Godzilla.
I like
No.
this.
Yeah,
I
It's
like
so-
not
that.
taxing. It really isn't.
So after Taylor Swift's Eras tour, I was taking a little bit of a bet there on what you would say. If you said Oppenheimer, I was going to say, well, that was Universal. And by the way, NBC Universal, definitely the most profitable studio this year, and getting, I think they're within $15 to $20 million of the same box office receipts as the Walt Disney Company this year. For the first time in a very long time, we have a company outside of the Walt Disney Company that
Just admit you wanted to say for the first time in forever. I know you wanted to. I could feel it.
Well, I did not.
The tension was
How
palpable.
dare you, sir? How dare you, sir? This is a Lion King house, not a Frozen house.
For the
And
first time. Go ahead.
and
go ahead.
besides,
I like that.
Tangled outclasses Frozen any day of the week. I will fight you, sir.
I will say Oppenheimer's in my top 3, I would say, of this year, probably.
And what about Barbie?
Same.
I just really struggled this year in general. Like, it's been really hard for me to come up with a like top 5 list. Like, there's very few things this year that Oppenheimer was an event. Barbie was an event, but the movie's a mixed bag for me personally. So it's been a hard year to pick. Like, there's nothing that just totally stands out of, oh my gosh, I love that. Like, like last year I had Top Gun Maverick, it was real obvious of which I liked the best.
So in all of this discussion, other than Taylor Swift, I'm not sure who distributed Taylor Swift's Eras tour. It might have been self-distributed.
Self-distributed through AMC.
Yes.
So outside of that, we got Barbie, we got Oppenheimer. I'm going to say the Super Mario Brothers movie. All of these are Warner Brothers or Comcast, which is
Who did
NBC
Equalizer
Universal.
3? Because that was my second favorite of the year, and nobody went to see it. So I am so angry. I'm so furious with the marketplace. I'll find some way to circumvent it and tell my truth, quote unquote, my truth. It was a huge hit. They should make more of them.
That was
Not
Sony.
really.
That was Sony. But
it was still a really good movie. Still my second favorite of the year.
I'm sure it is. And Anton Fuqua continues to impress, and in the fact that him and Denzel are working together is awesome. So the thing that I want to say here, NBC Universal right now, Comcast's logo is the NBC Universal logo, despite Comcast being the giant cable company that owns NBC Universal. The logo there, using the logo of one of your subsidiaries in order to avoid everyone thinking of you as the giant cable company. I think there is so much money being spent on the NBC Universal aspect of the business that there is no way that Comcast is going to give up on all of that work right now. I think the idea of NBC Universal spinning off from Comcast is ridiculous. The other thing that I think might happen here, if Comcast tries to buy Warner Brothers Discovery, I think that's the much more likely of the two, despite the massive regulatory issues that would happen. Obviously, there would be opposition on some level, but Culture, what is the massive merger that was definitely not going to happen that just finished up? Video games.
Oh, well, the Microsoft Blizzard one was the one that we
Yes.
didn't think could possibly
the
happen.
Microsoft Activision Blizzard merger.
Yeah,
A
we
merger
did
that
not-
already shouldn't have happened, which was followed up by another merger that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, Wow, that was wild. And I'm like, there's no way this is a regulatory like immediate reject. I figured, and internationally it was being rejected. It was universally being rejected, and somehow, and I'm thinking probably a lot of graft, money changing hands in the background. This got done.
I'm thinking that there were enough people who said, "Get Bobby out of the chair over there. Get Bobby Kotick out of here." This guy is. I mean, there's as bad as Activision Blizzard is as a company now. The CEO, I would suggest, Bobby was the worst CEO in any major company out there. He is alleged to have done things we can't talk about on the stream. Yeah. I can't even describe to you the depravity of the man, but allegedly. Well, so I think that's why they allowed the merger. I think they said, get this guy out of here.
It was almost like it had the force of gravity behind it. And now that Bobby Kotick has finished all of this up, he was on the list of people who could be buying Paramount from Sherry Redstone here in a little bit. He is exiting Activision Blizzard now that everything is said and done. And
he should buy Miramax. He's a great fit.
Ooh.
I don't think Disney wants to give that up.
Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Will David Zaslav continue his buying spree and end up the owner of all media one day? Or is he just biding his time to sell off Warner Brothers to the next suitor so that he can go back to running Discovery with one hand while he sips an iced tea from the other? Let us know your thoughts because we would love to know. This clip was part of our now regular Thursday live stream, which starts at noon Eastern time. Of course, if you're not in that time zone, just hit the notification bell if you'd like YouTube to just tell you when that is. Like this video if you like this video. If you know someone who is as interested as we are in this sort of nerdy stuff, then maybe you should share the link with them. And of course, please consider subscribing to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.